The story takes place during the North and South Northern
War.
Army officer Danba was seriously injured
Because
to avoid being cut Kai, become disabled. I ride a horse with an indomitable attitude, rushed into the battlefield. But I don't want to live forever with the enemy, but to let myself die heroically. Unexpectedly, the sniper was originally aiming
shot
for
in
the
the
head again. Yes, his fervent fighting spirit cheered up his weapons. Cheered the generals to defeat and win. So Danba becomes a hero. Promoted to major. General arranged for him the best doctor for treatment. After being cured, you can choose where you want to be. I'm tired of arguing, just want to choose a quiet place to enjoy the peace. So the officer at the border arranged for me. Penetrate deep into the territory of the Indians. Come here the garrison. Initially because she couldn't stand the torture. So it disbanded a long time ago. The room was so torn that it couldn't cover the rain and wind. But Danba did not give up the original plan. I made a simple fix. Clean up the animal carcasses in the river. Buried some pits that the garrison dug out of fear. Nightfall. You can quietly lie down and write a military diary. But now, I feel the loneliness like never before. Because, apart from Siko, there was no living thing beside him. Unexpected, I've been alone for a long time. Because no longer AI knows your identity. The officer arranged the place for you to be stationed not long ago. Even the god that brought you there, also Indians, Pony clan murdered. The next day he saw Skinny Wolf. This is the only life I see here. Moreover, the wolf's face didn't show any ferocity at all, so he put down his gun, despite the difficult conditions, but still live a peaceful grassland life. That wolf often comes to my house as a guest, and I'm also used to receiving this wolf. Perhaps between two lonely souls who sympathize with each other, I rely on the color of the claws. Who named the wolf mark. Then the sudden rush of a person broke the inherent peaceful life. This man came to steal a horse. Being discovered is like a shy child. Run away from him. The name of the birthmark is the Witch of the Indians. The position in the clan is very important. He thinks Danba is no ordinary white person. But the young man's hair blows in the wind. Do not think so. I'm going to steal a horse the next day. What about their conversation? Thought again. First come first served in the hearts of children because in their clan, stealing a horse is a glorious thing. In the middle of the night, a woman crashes into the door in panic. The kid successfully rode away. But the tragedy is that Shiko doesn't listen while struggling to make a girl fall and hurt her arm. Failed horse theft. The next day, the brothers with hair blowing in the wind came again to fight and Shiko goes after winning. He swore again. Want to fight high and low with Danba. Unexpected after seeing the gun in Danba, he immediately withdrew. Fortunately, Danba has no intention to hurt others. The tragedy is that they couldn't tame the circle either. Theft happens all the time. After Danba was distressed and fell unconscious on the ground. Indians are often harassed. Makes Danba feel extremely angry. Like a drop of water. So one morning, he put on military uniform and held the dignified Hoa flag. Want to go to enemy territory to find out why they do it. On the way he met a woman who harmed herself. Though he's white, but he's wearing an Indian shirt. I don't think much, just cover your mouth with the flag. Woman's wound again. When he brought the woman home, enter Indian territory. Then the scene in front of him completely shocked him. Danba is stationed at the border, constantly encountering harassment from the Indians. When he brought the wounded Indian woman home, then see the beautiful scenery of the majestic mountains and rivers. This is my dream life. Even though the hair is blowing in the wind, but there is excited to see the goodwill of women. The next day, excitement leads people from the tribe to thank you. Women are also warmly entertained, even gave them coffee and sugar. Because of language barrier, women can only use body language to communicate with them. The boss is very attentive to guess what he means, and hair blowing in the wind says you're an idiot. Then they give cowhide back to Danba for reciprocity. They gradually became familiar neighbors. Danba is also aware that they are not rude, savage, as in the legend, but a guest who understands etiquette, so he wanted to help them find the cows. One day, King boss to find a translator to come. You're the woman Danba saved, named Fist. When she was young, her family was living happily. Was killed by the Pony tribe. Then she was stimulated less and brought back for adoption. The day she wanted to kill herself was because her husband died in battle. She can't stand the pain. There is a language connection. Their relationship goes a step further. Women feel the treatment. The enthusiasm of arousal diminished. One night he discovered a herd of cows, immediately asked to follow them to hunt. The Sioux tribe people considered him a close friend. In silence, women and Fists fall in love with each other. Everyone can see it clearly, but no AI wants to interfere with this delicate relationship because the Fist is still for husband, Tang. In the process of chasing cows, they saw a heartbreaking scene. A herd of skinned cows, only the carcass remains. I can't bear to look at it. Everyone is in pain. Apparently, white hunters do. They are for economic gain and not for tricks. Completely lost humanity and self-standard. See the appearance of white people here. Women feel quite anxious. At night they executed the white man and killed the cow, standing in front of the campfire cheering and dancing. The next day at the hunting ground was as fierce as a battlefield. For the Sioux tribe people, it is a bountiful season. Suddenly a bull hit an arrow, madly charged at a little girl. Fortunately, Dunba opened fire to save her. After that, hair blowing in the wind, Crooked Heart enthusiastically invited him to drink blood and swear. This also proves that he fully accepts. Danba considers you a true friend. That night, in front of the fire, everyone laughs and laughs. But stay with the tribe people Sioux, you feel the friendliness and enthusiasm never before. But in his heart, he silently suffers because white people are coming. Destroy the beauty of this place. After returning to the campsite, I have not been able to adapt to loneliness. Alone. Suddenly saw a bird that Mark brought. Dunba's heart is lonely for a moment, overjoyed to be influenced by the Sioux tribe people. I danced alone in front of the fire. And Mark is his loyal audience. Have a friend like that. I seem to be able to become one with nature. Like an approaching event. You with the Sioux tribe people. The Pony tribe again challenged the Sioux tribe people. Is a loyal friend. Nitba actively requested to join the battle, again being less agitated, and politely refused. I know Danba is a rare soldier. But this is the hatred of their people. Maybe this is considered a hero, hero. But stimulate arousal less Dunba to help take care of young women in the clan. Then he gave it to Ba. My Sioux tribe name is to dance with wolves. Because I saw with my own eyes the Ba in harmony and chung with wolves after they go. An invisible attraction made Danba communicate more with fists. Even learned the Indian language. It's natural for two people to talk to each other, while still letting tang, but still can't help but secretly taste the forbidden fruit. But good things are not bad. Pony people take advantage of the gap. Into an emergency situation, Danba dug out the weapon he buried before. Under your summons, the rest of the clan joined forces. Let's destroy the invaders together. War, it's not simply because of competing for the right to win, of protecting the house and family. Helping the Sioux clan to win makes Danba feel proud. Also made Danba know who he is for the first time, knitting Ba before entering the army. Like not being able to live as myself after stimulating the boots. Declared the time to Tang's fist has ended. Proceed. A simple yet solemn ritual for them. Final. Dance with wolves and put on Indian clothes. Now, I feel completely happy and satisfied. But the good is always short-lived. They quickly discovered the bad traces. White people left. Now, I finally got it straight with my arousal. Sooner or later, the whites will take over this place, so they have to get out of here. But before leaving, women, remember your diary. When you come back alone, then the whites have taken over your camp. He was also attacked because he was wearing Indian clothes. Unfortunate Siko horse sacrifices because there is no AI to prove his identity as a major. You can only be treated as a prisoner. White Skin Man proposed for him to be a spy. Let's wipe out the Indians' lair together. This story, called the barbaric act of the civilized people, make me flow pure blood in my heart. Feel ashamed. He said indignantly that I am dancing with wolves. I have nothing to say to you guys. You guys are not worth my talking. On the way to be escorted, Mark follows behind. Even if the bad officer sees it as a target to shoot, but it didn't leave from start to finish. Until he was hit and died without breathing. While crossing the river, Sioux tribe people attack, kill the white man and save the wolf. Now you have a traitor status. So as not to get involved with the Sioux tribe, he decided to take his wife away. Everyone doesn't want to say goodbye to them. At this time, the hair is blowing in the wind. I am the hair blowing in the wind. Do you consider me your friend? Will you forever consider me your friend? Faced with his enthusiastic expression, the woman from beginning to end was silent and did not answer. I dare not answer. I'm afraid I can't say goodbye. Maybe that is the best consolation for the brother. 13 years later, the Sioux tribe's homeland was destroyed. Rump signed a peace treaty with the whites. An officer who once sacrificed himself for the country ended up back on the enemy's side. Seems to be an unforgivable traitor. But in fact, he is towards my heart. Towards truth, beauty, and not being tainted by this world. Even if the Sioux tribe people go hunting, but they only obey the laws of nature. Acquire basic living conditions for survival. The wolf throughout the movie also has a special meaning. At first, the wolf with him was always almost having faith away. Is also a precaution. Until the end, eat the meat in my hand. This is the same as you with the Indians, from enemies to strangers to friends. Even family. Simultaneously, the wolf also represents wildness and frankness, representing the pure beauty of nature. These are all things that women always pursue, and the death of the wolf represents the tragic fate of the Indians. The movie is here to the end. Hello and see you again.